Hey out there, this is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with another Sonic Boom vlog. Now first, let's talk about Cartoon Network and how much it sucks. Yeah, let's wait an entire year to begin airing episodes of this series that people like without showing any reruns of the show on the network. Then, when we finally do bring it back, let's put it in an even worse time slot than it was before, all the way at 6 a.m. instead of 7 a.m., and air one episode, and then go on a month-long hiatus before we show the next episode. Yep, if everything goes well, we'll have this series canceled in a month. Yeah, but in all seriousness, despite how horrible Cartoon Network is, at the very least, it turns out that Sonic Boom is airing on the Boomerang network at 6 p.m. rather than 6 a.m. Apparently, for the past 2 weeks, when they weren't giving episodes on Cartoon Network, they were giving them on the Boomerang network instead. So, more accessible time slot. A channel that's not entirely populated by Teen Titans Go, although they still give Teen Titans Go on Boomerang. Can you believe that? Boomerang is supposed to be where, you know what? Sonic Boom isn't even supposed to be on Boomerang. The Boomerang network was created so that Cartoon Network could show their older cartoons, classics. Like, it's where you can watch the Flintstones or the Jetsons. Last year, they still gave SWAT Cats on it. I don't know if they still give SWAT Cats. I think they stopped giving it in reruns, which sucked. But like that's supposed to be where your older classic cartoons go. It's supposed to be where I can go to watch old episodes of Samurai Jack or Ed, Edd n Eddy because they don't fit in the proper network's time slot anymore. What are they doing giving Teen Titans Go? And it's why I also never expected to see Sonic Boom on it, because it's a new series. Having a new series on a network designed to show old reruns of shows is just something I never expected. But, yeah, the Boomerang Network has Sonic Boom at a much better time slot and apparently more consistent without month-long hiatuses. Speaking of that hiatus, because of it, Cartoon Network aired 2 episodes this passing Saturday instead of just 1. So the first one was Space-Mageddon Apocalypse. I think they were trying to go with a reference to Armageddon, the Michael Bay movie about the asteroid that was going to hit the Earth, while, throwing in space and apocalypse and, all that stuff. Alright, so the episode actually starts with a reference of 2001: A Space Odyssey, where they're playing that epic trumpet music, but, playing it in a whimsical way. Like, instead of bum, 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 it's like it's played in a higher timbre, and it's like being played by a bugle instead of by a trombone, And Eggman is in orbit with Cubot and Orbot, apparently performing maintenance on an asteroid. Cubot and Orbot are having difficulties on the satellite, and Dr. Eggman's passing the time by playing a game of asteroids. Actually, it's like not really asteroids. Like, the way it moves, it kind of looks like a cross between asteroids and Galaga. So while he's blasting his way through the asteroids, he sees this one huge asteroid that his little pixel spaceship can't blow up, and he says, "Whoa, that's a huge one!" And when he looks, it's an actual giant asteroid, which is on a collision course with the planet. Yeah, this is one of those shows where they don't want to say they live on Earth. They could. I would be totally okay if they decided to call this planet Mobius. I would love. They always make nods to older fans. Why not say Mobius, huh? Okay, so I actually think that Eggman was actually playing with the weapon systems, and that's just the interface for the lasers on his egg rocket or something. So anyway, he sees the asteroid coming, and he pulls Cubot and Orbot back into the rocket, and they land on Earth. And of course he's Dr. Eggman, so before he warns anyone, he thinks about how he's going to survive the asteroid impact. And he says that he has this shelter made. It's super secret, and no one's ever. And Cubot and Orbot ask why they never heard of it, because it's not a famous bomb shelter. Okay, that's good. Yeah, it's a secret bomb shelter, not a famous bomb shelter. Of course, it turns out that Cubot and Orbot had heard of it, and Cubot apparently threw a party there, and it was all wrecked, so he orders them to clean it up. So Eggman tries to make an announcement to the village that that the asteroid is going to destroy them, and the only ones who will survive are the ones who pay him to live in his bunker. Has Dr. Eggman ever been motivated by profit? I don't think he's ever been motivated by profit. Like, I mean, the giant casino stages in the games, like all the rings, I mean, he definitely made profit from there, but that's just because he likes it. Like, he said that he likes carnivals and roller coasters and stuff like that, so like that's just his sense of aesthetics. I didn't think that he ever used money as a means to an end. Although he probably does need money, because he needs to fund all the research for the robot parts for something, right? So, at first, nobody really believes him. They think that he's just trying to scam money out of them. Of course, Styx says that the asteroid is actually an alien conspiracy. She hopes that they're the ones that secretly help us build stuff and not the ones who come to eat us. Because she's Styx and she has to make all these jokes. And so Tails, of course, uses his telescope to take a look at the sky to see if he can independently confirm Dr. Eggman's findings. Hey, that's science! Independently confirming someone else's findings. Haha! So Sonic asks, what makes a telescope different from a telescope? To which he confesses, nothing. I like how he's like, nothing. You know, Galileo Galilei was able to successfully convince the world that he invented the telescope, despite the fact that it had been used for a long time by sailors so that they could more easily identify passing ships or find islands on the horizon. Tails, he couldn't even get away with renaming it. So what happens next is that Tails comes up with a plan to deflect the asteroid, and he tries to have a meeting with the village mayor, with Dr. Eggman there. And, you know, because everybody in the village is an idiot and Dr. Eggman is you know, against him, the meeting pretty much goes nowhere. They get into arguments over whether to call it an asteroid or a meteor, and the Eggman filibusters for a bit, and by the end of the meeting, the mayor and one of the other lackeys, I'm pretty sure he has a name, but I don't remember, they decide to go to Dr. Eggman's shelter. When Orbot points out that as the asteroid hits and civilization is destroyed, money will have no value. So Eggman decides, instead of charging people to live there, he can instead just pick the people that he likes the most. So he decides to have a contest, which we see off screen, about who would get to live in his bunker. Although he does muse that he might want someone who he hates rather than likes, because because he doesn't want the asteroid. He wants a new archenemy for the post-apocalyptic world. So what happens next is Tails is trying to figure out how to deflect the asteroid, but can't figure it out until he sees Sonic preening himself in his mirror, because, you know, Sonic's vanity has to appear in the episode at least once. And Tails realizes that if he uses mirrors, he can concentrate the sun's beams into a powerful energy beam that will cause a heat imbalance on the surface of the asteroid that will cause its orbit to change and make it miss the Earth. That's real science, by the way. That is an actual plan NASA's scientists have to deflect an asteroid if it actually does threaten the real-life Earth. Science! Because science! Alright, so they start gathering up all the mirrors, and of course Styx has another one of her crazy quotes. This is either my reflection or a portal to the mirror universe where my evil twin is trapped. Be gone, evil Styx! Oh god. You know, someone should just make a supercut of every random thing that Styx says over the course of the series. I bet it would be hilarious to just sit and watch. It'll probably be like an hour long. Okay, so with the mirrors constructed, there's a pretty awesome scene where they use adaptive optics to focus the sun's beams, and it turns into this huge laser that shoots out of his machine, and it hits a piece of debris in between them and the asteroid. Turns out that there's so much space debris around the asteroid that you can't get a clean shot. So they decide that they had to fly up into space so that they can get a better vantage point and shoot it with the laser from space. So Sonic, of course, volunteers to go, but Tails says that Knuckles should go on the mission. Now, I'm sitting there completely incredulous, like, really? You're going to send Knuckles into space by himself with a complicated machine to save the Earth, and if he screws up, you're dead. They are entrusting their lives to Knuckles. Knuckles. And this is Sonic Boom Knuckles. I think proper Universe Knuckles might have had a better shot, but this is Sonic Boom Knuckles. You know what? No, not even proper Universe Knuckles. Remember in Sonic Adventure 2 when they were flying up to the Space Colony Ark in a space shuttle and they spilled the Master Emerald shards and Knuckles tried to turn the shuttle around and nearly crashed it? No! Knuckles should never be trusted with space travel. No interpretation of Knuckles should ever be trusted with space travel. Oh, and also Sonic gets all mopey and whiny because he doesn't get to go into space and be the hero. And they say that it's a heroic act to sacrifice the glory for yourself. Like me. Maybe we can go together? Me. So Sonic doesn't get to go to space. So Knuckles suits up in that really cool space suit. I think it matches the concept art from the game that I showed you a little while ago, and he's doing his slow motion epic walk with the cool music playing. When it turns out that it's not slow motion at all, he's just walking really slow for dramatic effect, and everyone tells him to hurry the hell up. So they send Knuckles up into space with very careful instructions on how to operate the machine, and it's in pictures because we've established that Knuckles is illiterate in this universe because Knuckles, they just love to crap on Knuckles in this series. So they send him into space, and Tails says that everything will be fine as long as he has these instructions. Wow, Tails, that's the biggest screw up since Goku forgot the sealing talisman for the Mafuba in Dragon Ball Super. And anyone who doesn't watch Dragon Ball Super is really confused by that. Alright, so it turns out that he gave him a shopping list for the grocery store instead, so we got problems here. Oh, if you're wondering why Knuckles was sent in the first place, it's because he's the only one who's physically strong enough to physically lift the mirror contraption in case something goes wrong. Like mechanical failure. So, without having instructions, Knuckles decides to try and wing it, and he ends up hitting the controls so poorly that the adaptive optics cause the mirrors to shatter. So here he is, on an asteroid, by himself, no radio communication with the surface because of magnetic interference, no device to deflect the asteroid. So what does he do? He makes another reference to 2001: A Space Odyssey by asking the computer to open the pod bay doors, and it says, "I'm afraid I can't do that, Knuckles." Well, guess we're doing this the old-fashioned way. So he busts the door down, and then he jumps out, and then he punches the asteroid so hard that it shatters. Bad ass. Like, they really milked that scene too. They have him leap out and they show every moment of his movement, and then his fist just collides with the ground, and you see the cracks propagate out, and then he runs across the surface of the asteroid as it crumbles beneath his feet and manages to get a push off. And meanwhile, everyone's back on the surface like, he should have been back in radio contact by now. And everyone's like, and Sonic, despite the fact that he's obviously worried that he's going to be killed by an asteroid, he just can't help but take a jab and like, you should have sent me. And Knuckles, he manages to catch Dr. Eggman's egg satellite, and he uses it as a surfing board to get back into the asteroid. Not into the asteroid, into the egg rocket, so that he can ride it back to Earth. Somehow I guess it has an auto landing sequence, and the plasma from the superheated falling back into the atmosphere doesn't come into the open hatch and kill him to death. But so that that was a legitimately cool action sequence. I mean, this is a comedy show, but they can have a legitimately good action beat. I like a comedy show that has an action beat when it needs an action beat. So, it turns out that the asteroid, although shattered into smaller pieces, some of those small pieces still present a significant threat, which is where Sonic gets to feel like the hero again. So he grabs Amy's hammer, and then he runs out into the village and uses it to pico away all the asteroid debris that would have hit the town. So he says he deflected away 30 asteroid shards and got to save the day his way. Although Tails knows that there were 31 shards. Guess where the last shard landed? Right in front of the door of Dr. Eggman's shelter. So he can't open the door and get out. So the resigned side says, I get top bunk. And that's where the episode ends. Okay, so I wish that they had shown who he chose to be his bunker roommate, because they showed the 5 finalists, but we don't actually get to see who gets to live in the bunker with him. I'm curious to see like who he would have picked, and if it's somebody that's going to be his friend in a future episode. They also had some good humor here, like when they figured that they can go into space to deflect the asteroid, but the only person who had a functioning rocket was Eggman, who they knew wouldn't lend it to him. So they convinced the cop to tow it, so that after towing it, like, you need to observe alternate side of the street parking, even in the jungle. like oh yay, police corruption, to save the Earth. Oh no, to save this planet. So yeah, and of course Styx' lines are hilarious as always. So this episode had good humor, the really epic action beats when it needed them, a little bit of observational humor. Like the show is smarter than some shows than some other shows. You always see these scam artists who are trying to get a whole bunch of money out of people before the apocalypse. And then you think, like, if the apocalypse comes, where are you going to spend that money? So you actually have Orbot bring that up, and Eggman reacts. He's like, oh, right, I have no use of money. Alright, so I'm just going to have a lottery for the people that I like the most. So yeah, that's good. This was a good episode. A really good one. It didn't have some annoying one-shot character like the last episode with the actor guy, and like it made legit references to real science and good classical science fiction like 2001: A Space Odyssey. So this episode was all around good. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully season 2 can keep this up. Alright, so for the future of these vlogs, now that I know the Boomerang Network airs the shows at a much more reasonable hour, and also that my cable package apparently does include the Boomerang Network, who knew, I am going to start recording these vlogs Saturday evenings. Well, actually right now it's Sunday evening, but that's because I caught these episodes online, because I still haven't been able to catch them on demand because, cable sucks. Seriously. I am this close to cutting off the cable and just using the extra money from not paying a cable bill to upgrade my internet speed. But yes, fantastic episode. Let's hope that this season can keep this up. Now, I'm gonna go watch the second episode that they gave yesterday and record the vlog for that.